Good morning, good afternoon or good evening, wherever in the world you might be watching. This video will demonstrate the construction of an automated file using simple formulas and macros. While the data used represents personnel from a small company, the concepts can be used in any number of situations, for example, stock control, school and college class data, and more. Let's look at how it works and what we're needing to achieve. First of all, you'll notice that I can click here to choose any name, and then having chosen green, I want to see that record, so I have a little macro here which will take me to that record where I see green with the various details pertinent to that staff member, and also I see formulas here which will indicate whether that staff member is due for a salary review. There's our formula there which we'll go into shortly, or whether the vacation is due. There's our formula again there. I can also go to a small letter which could be emailed or printed out and sent to a particular staff member with their leave due and salary review. There's another small macro here which takes me back to the staff records. So we'll try one more. You'll see how quick it is. We'll go for Grant. See this record. There is Grant. Vacation due, yes. Salary review, yes. You'll notice they're in red because they've been conditionally formatted, and leaving salary review details there. Back to the staff records. Now, as each procedure is demonstrated, we'll tick the check boxes here so that we can keep track of where we are. Remember, you can use the space bar to pause and restart the video. After entering the initial staff data, which we see here, we can then type the labels where you wish information to appear. So, for example, the labels would be today, total salaries, choose staff member, salary review, vacation due, and any other labels that you wish for information. So we will type our labels, then we will rename sheet 2, which is now renamed to individual records. I did that by right-clicking on the sheet and renaming. When I click rename and then press enter, I changed sheet 2 to individual records. Similarly, I renamed leave and salary info, which was initially sheet 3. The next thing I did was to create drop-downs. Now, if I go back to the staff records, I see here that I can choose any name from the staff members by using this drop-down list here. And the way I did that was to go to the Data tab and choose Data Validation, and then I chose a list. And the list was simply the source, which I dragged through this area here and then clicked OK. Now on sheet 2, which is now individual record, I created the VLOOKUP results. This is important because I need to remember to change the column reference number in each column. So here, there's my VLOOKUP. I want to look up what's in the staff records, what is in B10, and then in the staff records, I want to choose the group of cells from D11 to L17, which are this section here. And remember, B10 holds the actual search situation. And then I said, look in column 1 for the name. and then I use the word false because the information in the staff records is not in ascending alpha order. Now what I did, I then copied the formula across using the autofill button here, but when I came to this one, I had to change the 1, the column number, to a 2 to look up the second column. In this one, I changed to a 3. So on and so forth until I got to the very last one, which is column 11. So that's most important. That enables you to look up multiple columns in the data that we see back in the staff record. Now at this stage, we can think about using some formatting, such as the cell background and text colours. Simply all I've done there is to click on a cell. I want to do them all at once, so I hold down the Control key and choose the other cells that I wish to colour, and then in the Home tab, of course, I used the colour here, the drop-down list for the colours. I chose that one there. Now we'll go to the individual record down here, or see this record, either way, and we are going to look at the formula in these two cells here. Now the salary review uses an if with an embedded or statement. So what I said here was if K5, which is the performance here, is equal to good, because there are good, fair and excellent as the drop-down choices. If J5 is less than 70,000, then the answer is yes, refer to manager. Well, the salary is 66,000, therefore I need to have that filled in there according to the formula. If the salary is greater than 70,000, then the answer will appear as no. Now this would be a good time to press the space bar to pause the video and study the formula here, remembering that we have an embedded or statement within the if. Now let's look at the vacation due answer. And in the formula here, if today and that date is back in the staff records, there, today is the 18th of January, that will change each day automatically. So I'm saying in the formula, if today minus L5 is greater than 365, that means it is more than 365 days since that person has had a vacation. Therefore, the answer will be yes, discuss dates. If not, then the answer will be no. I simply used in the Home tab the Conditional Formatting button and highlighted the cell rules where text was contained within the cell. Now the next procedure was to create some very simple macros. To do this, I need to see the Developer tab up here in the menu area, and what I did in that cell was to draw by inserting a shape, and what I did there was to choose a rectangle, and I drew the rectangle there in a cell, thus, and I was able to type in the text, see this record. Made it a little bit bigger so I can see all of the text. Then I said in the Home tab, show the text in the middle, and then I recorded a macro by going to the Developer tab and record macro, and all I did was to name that macro. I called it individual record, and then I clicked OK and clicked on the individual record, which created a macro to go to that particular sheet. So it's just a very simple macro which enables me to then, right after I click stop recording, because the record macro will have changed to stop recording, and then what I did was to right click on that particular shape and assign a macro. The macro was go to individual record, and when I clicked OK, I was then able to click on that and it took me there. Similarly, I created a macro for back to staff records. By right-clicking on the cell, I assigned a macro back to staff records and clicked OK. The leave and salary reviews, I created a further macro to take me to the leave and salary information by right-clicking on it and assigning the macro, which was leave and salary advice letter. Notice that when you name a macro that there are no spaces. So the actual construction of the automated sheet is really quite simple. There's nothing difficult about it. It's a matter of planning first up what you want things to do, what do you want the macros to do, where to take you, and the like. Let's go back to the staff records, and I recommend that you create a table here by dragging through the data, and then in the insert, click on table, and you will be asked if or whether or not the data has headers. The answer will be yes, of course. So it's just creating a simple table. But what I did, I removed the, in the data tab, I clicked on filter, which removed the drop-down arrows because I didn't want those particularly to appear. Now finally, and lastly, I'll just show you a couple of formulas on this particular sheet. The total salaries are just a simple sum, L11 to L17, and in the today text I simply said equal today, followed by two brackets, one open, one close, and that means that that date will always change according to the date in the computer's clock. So if I started this file tomorrow, that date will have changed to the 19th of January. Now finally, in the leave and salary info, I typed a short letter and I said in this cell, the formula is equal to the individual record I9 to J9. So if I look at the individual record and I9 to J9 in this case, because I merged those two cells, so the equal sign linked that particular data there into the leave and salary info. Similarly, the salary review, I said in the individual record in E9, yes, refer to manager, and I was able again to create a link to that so that the data appeared in the leave and salary. Back to staff records. Now that is how I created an automated file using simple formulas and simple macros. Nothing difficult about it. It's a matter of planning, as I mentioned earlier. Think about what you need to do. Remember that whilst you're watching this video, that you can press the space bar at any time to pause and press the space bar again after you've studied what you need to, and the video will replay or start playing again. So thank you so much for watching. Please leave any comments. We would love a like if you feel inclined to do so. And remember to subscribe, where you'll be automatically advised of up and coming videos to increase your knowledge and usage of Microsoft Excel. Thank you so much again for watching. Bye for now.